recorder is going. Kyle and Stephanie on 88.3 The Wind in studio with us this morning. So excited to have Jason Gray in the house. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing well. Good morning.
We are honored to have you here today.
Thank you.
And you brought your guitar.
Brought my guitar, yep.
Does the guitar have a name? Do you name your guitar?
My guitar is named Coco, the talking guitar. So. Oh, Coco, it's not your turn right now. You just be quiet. You just wait your turn.
It's almost like a ventriloquist.
I know, right?
Way better, way better.
It's more like a security blanket. Like, I don't understand artists who perform without holding a good, like, when I've had to do that, I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, when I've had to sing the national anthem, like at a baseball game.
Yes.
It's like, what do I do with my hands? I put them, like, no, don't put them in your pockets. That doesn't, where do I put them? Like on my head, you know?
Well, you say that. I mean, we probably see that most on these talent competitions on TV where they'll tell, like, all right, I want you to see next week without the guitar, and they're just, they don't know what to do.
They go into shock.
Yeah.
Or, like, if you have to use a headset microphone, at least give me a microphone to hold on to, you know? But the national anthem is also hard because it's one of those songs that you think you know until you have to lead it, you know? So one time I'm leading the national anthem and I'm so anxious about this, and I've practiced it and all that kind of stuff, and then it comes to the moment and I'm singing, and you guys, I was not lazy. I did, you know, all the work beforehand, memorized it, all that kind of stuff, but still in the moment, and I get there and I sing, and the rocket's red glare, and the rocket's red glare. I told it was that guy. So
it's one of those, you could forget the lyrics to any one of your songs and nobody cares, but it's when you forget
that one,
you'll end up on YouTube if you mess up the Star Spangled Banner.
Betrayed America, and it's like, no, it's just, it's hard.
That's awesome. So. That's funny. Jason Gray is with us this morning on 88.3 The Wind, just traveling across the Midwest.
That's right.
So excited to have you in the house. You're going to play a couple of songs coming up for us. We'll talk about your new album.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's so exciting. That's great music, by the way.
Thank you for saying that.
Let's talk. In fact, let's talk about the new album that you've got out, Where the Light Gets In. It's, 13 awesome tracks on this thing. Tell us about the inspiration behind it. Where you know, what was God doing in your heart when you put this thing together?
Yeah, you know, I can say two things about it. I feel like early on I should explain to everybody out there that I do have a speech handicap, known as stuttering. So I like to let people know about that up front, so you guys aren't concerned about what they're doing to me in the studio.
Shock.
I'm just fine.
It's shy. He's sitting in the electrified chair over there.
But I would say that the experience of having a speech handicap taught me some things early on about the value of brokenness. You know, because it was complicated as a boy with a speech handicap, and beginning to be aware that I think I had a calling on my life, and I used to argue with God about it, saying, Lord, you can't make me your spokesperson until you make it, you know, so I can speak. And I don't know if you've ever had this experience or not, but when you tell God that he can't do something, it's kind of like a dare that he can't resist, you know.
Yes. Ooh, yes.
That's why I do what I do. I lost a dare with the Lord, you know. But I used to pray and pray that he would take it away, that he would heal me of it, and over the years began to understand that I don't believe he was going to heal me of my speech handicap, but he brought a lot of healing through my speech handicap, both to me. And there's also this remarkable thing that happens with my audience, you know, that I have this very obvious brokenness that is very clear when I speak, and it creates the possibility of vulnerability in the room, you know, and I think it creates a space where we can bring our hearts, you know, because I bet this about you guys. I bet that you guys, now that you know that I have a speech handicap, I bet that you guys like me just a little bit more, you know. And
Do you play that card often?
well, I believe that because I know, like, if I got to hang out with you guys and I knew more about your brokenness and
Yeah.
your struggle, I'd like you guys a little bit more too.
It makes
you know?
people real.
Yeah, and it makes us a safe place for each other too,
Mhm.
right? You know, so I think our wounds, our brokenness, our weakness make us a safe place for each other. You know, so that's a theme that runs through a lot of my music. This album was my first album that I recorded after my divorce, which was the most painful thing that I've ever experienced. There was a lot of confusion in the wake of all that, you know, because because I never prayed harder for anything, and you know, but God didn't show up in the way that I had hoped He would, and so I was angry and confused for a long time, for many years. I still am in a lot of ways, you know. But I remember with this new album, it was kind of like, you know how it is when you're going through something just horrible, and people, they ask you about it all the time, you know, they want to hear how you're doing, you know, and that's great. There isn't anything wrong with that, but like I just got weary of talking about it all the time, and because it was a years long kind of ordeal, and reached a point where I was like, you know what, I'm still in the middle of this. It's still hard, it's painful. I'm not avoiding any of it, but I kind of just don't want to have that same conversation anymore. I need to start having new conversations from my own heart. I need to begin to dream about the future again. And I would say that the new album is that. Let's change the conversation and let's dream about the future. And so it's a very, I believe, I hope it's a very authentic collection of songs about the reality of difficulty and pain and the redemption in the midst of that. But that's also very hopeful and looking forward kind of album. So